Here with the man, the myth, the legend behind RDS, the designer, Dave Boyce. Might wonder why we're here at an MMA gym or a martial arts gym, but
it's a good question.
The guy is fighting 2 weeks from now, I guess, almost. Just under 2 weeks.
October 10th in Las Vegas.
Ellismania.
Is Ellismania 11?
Ellismania 11. Explain. I mean, some of our viewers might not understand this whole Ellismania thing that's going on. It's pretty classical, if you might ask me, but just explain to people what Ellismania is and what you're partaking in.
Well, Jason Ellis has his own radio show on Sirius XM on Faction 41, and what he does to give back to the fans is, this is his 11th event, and what he does is he puts on, you could only call it a spectacle, in the same vein of like what you would think of like celebrity boxing matches, but we've all seen a celebrity boxing match, and neither one of these guys can fight in any of these type of bouts that you ever see, so it's really just kind of gross and sloppy to watch. So he took a twist on it and decided to add in the humor aspect to it. Like the fight I'm involved in, for instance, is called the Master Blaster fight. So if anybody is familiar with like the Road Warrior movies, Master Blaster was two fighters together and one kind of told the other one what to do. But what Jason came up with in this event is him and I are going to be side by side, taped together, fighting against Kit Cope, who I'm sure the fans of this site would know, MMA legend, Muay Thai fighter, somebody that I fully respect, and I hope he watches this. Kit, be nice. And another radio personality by the name of Mike Catherwood. Mike Catherwood is the host of Loveline. And that's just one of the fights that is actually going to be transpiring. There's also a piñata fight. So there's a big piñata that stands down in the middle of the ring, and you'll have two straight up fighters defending this piñata against just whatever guys. And this will be the third time they've had this. It's one of my favorite ones because it's melee. Like last year, Kit was involved in that one, and when his back was turned, he took a punch to the back of the head, gets dropped, toe picks the guy, he falls over, and as soon as he gets up, another guy, boom, in the back of the head.
So for people that are hearing this, you say it's a spectacle, it's comedic, it's not scripted or fake.
It's not scripted, it's not it's not fake, it's not professional wrestling. And not to take away from those guys are big and probably could crush me in a little ball, but no, there is no scripted outcome. For instance, I took part last year, and I got asked 12 hours before to take part, and it was I am not a fighter. I'm a clothing designer and a skateboarder. So I had anxiety for 12 hours before I got in the ring. Actually, all anxiety lifted once I got in there. I don't know if you should take that into the ring with you. So, but up until that point, it was one of those things. I've never boxed. I do train in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but that's not gonna help you in a striking match. At least I had the confidence for the combated aspect of it all, but still, it was dicey.
You do have a radio show podcast, going to be on Sirius XM, This Boy's Life. Kit Cope actually called into the show a couple episodes back.
He did.
Just to talk about your nerves. And you said this last year you were extremely nervous about getting in there. How are you feeling now?
Well, you know, I got the call, and it was one of those things where they call you on the air. So you have no real out. There's like, you don't have a parachute you can pull and be like, oh, I gotta go. So on the air, I got asked, and it wasn't even asked, it was more along the lines of told, so we hear you're taking part in the Master Blaster fight. And if anybody caught that or listened, you can see and hear me drop like, huh? What's the Master Blaster fight? So it's Jason Ellis, who's the host of the show, is the one that has given me this opportunity for me to be on Sirius. So it's in my best interest to just say yes, and if I get knocked out, I get knocked out. If I get a bloody nose, I get a bloody nose. All I ask is they don't break anything, no permanent damage, and I'm okay with it.
And you've taken this pretty seriously. I mean, you're here at Diaz Combat Sports. You're training with Ryan Diaz, who's known in the mixed martial arts community
Ryan the Lion,
as a guy that's been around the game for a long time. Just you're taking it as seriously as you can coming into this thing.
Well,
you don't plan on losing.
I plan on giving it 100%. I am fighting with Jason, so Jason and I are doing this together. So yes, we don't take in losing, you know what I mean? It's just, being a skateboarder, the equation is you just you just try hard, you do it, and that's one of the things that skateboarding teaches you. You don't have a coach, you don't have somebody yelling at you. It's all internal. It's an internal focus and it's an internal drive, and it's similar in the aspect of getting hit, but you're throwing yourself against concrete, and that actually as a child would fuel you. Even if you fell and you hurt yourself, you would get up angry and you would do it again and again and again until you got it right. So if you just use that with everything you do in life, if you fall, if you lose, you just get up and go harder, you're gonna succeed. And it's a blueprint for success. So I'm taking that in as I'm training for this. I don't wanna look bad in front of my peers. I don't wanna look bad with Jason beside me. So yes, I've given this all. I've been training now here for almost 3 weeks. We've been doing 5 rounds a day. I've been running 5 to 7K, changed my diet, haven't been drinking, haven't been doing anything I shouldn't be doing, just giving it my all.
Is this something that you're going to continue to do? Will you continue to train with Ryan Diaz?
I will. Actually, now that I have, it was one of those things I didn't want to get hit. You know what I mean? That's why I chose Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when I did get into the martial arts. But actually after training in Jiu-Jitsu, you get hit quite a bit. Actually a lot more than you would think. I've taken way too many knees to the head and bloody noses and split lips rolling, so I'm used to the getting hit aspect now. So this has been just the next step in that. So the evolution of me being a better fighter and also a better person, because it gives you a higher respect for everybody around you. You never know if anybody trains or what they do. So out and about, if you're driving your car, you get a little bit of road rage, you kind of sit back because you don't know if that guy's a killer. So training here, you just see a whole bunch of guys that are killers, that mild-mannered, like Superman, you know, Clark Kent. You wouldn't notice. Sure.
Now, talking about your podcast, it's more than a podcast now. It's going to be a radio show on Sirius XM. How did that all come about?
Well, Jason has a goal of it not just being a channel that he's on, but it being the Jason Ellis channel. I caught wind of that. I've been on a show a few times, and I've always wanted to do a podcast. I think you and I have a better chance than them. Coming from our background of skateboarding, I think our balance and our ability to move together is going to be a little bit better than theirs. Kit, being a trained fighter, you know, he's going to be used to be in certain positions, and he's not going to get those. But you and I, because of skateboarding, we're going to have this unique balance together that I think they're doomed. I think they're doomed. I think between you and I, we got this. I have been training with one arm tied to my body and not knowing whether I'm going left or right. I've been doing one round. I'm right hand. Okay, I've been going one round with an arm tied to one side, and then the next round with the arm tied to the next side. I've been training with a guy named Ryan, the Lion Diaz. He's you can look him up on SureDog. He's a killer. Yeah. Well, I was expecting to actually get my match switched up. Like maybe, oh, now you're just fighting me. But thankfully, it was just to help push the new show coming out. I have a contest right now on Instagram, on Twitter, and Facebook. So if you take the image, if you go to my Instagram account, and it's This Boyce Life, you'll see a photo of Don't Miss Out, and it's a giveaway. So if you regram that, or put it up through your Twitter, or I guess retweet it, and then throw it on your Facebook with the hashtag The Voice Boyce Show, you have the opportunity to win one of 30 prizes. And the one he was talking about is, I'm giving away my very first RDS pendant. They're a prized possession to all of the Red Dragons. I have a newer one, and it has diamonds in it and stuff. Yeah, I never wear it. Diamonds. I'll wear it at Ellismania though. Probably get jumped by a fan.
Any more nerves after talking there?
No, I feel good. I feel good. I'm confident about the fight. But now I just did find out that I won't be squaring off against Kid. I'll be squaring off against Catherwood. So,
and you also found out you'll be the righty.
I'm right, yeah. So I'm going right. Which is a good thing, because now I know training going forward, it's arm to the side, boom. He was kind of making fun of me, going, why are you training so hard for this? And I feel I'm the one out of the group that needs the most training. So that's why I'm training so hard. RDS
has been around for quite some time. I know I I was accustomed to it, seeing them on Much Music. They were all over the Swollen Members and different hip hop groups from Canada and whatnot. Just speak about RDS a little bit and how it's grown over the years.
Well, RDS is one of those things. It was a very organic growth, whereas a lot of companies will start and they have like a mission statement and a vision. We were a bunch of non-affluent little kids, blonde hair, blue eyes, in the late early 80s, right when there was a huge influx of gangs here in Vancouver where we grew up. So we thought it was funny, being that we were blonde-haired, blue-eyes little kids, to call ourselves the Red Dragons. So we would write it on the grip tape of our boards or spray paint it on walls and be like, "We're the Red Dragons, we kill you, we know where you live." And it was like a joke. But then as we got better, when we would travel to go to the contests in the States or in Europe or whatever, it was one of those things, oh, the Red Dragons are here. So the Red Dragons were known as this Canadian skate crew. So organically, unknowing, we were building a brand prior to there being a brand. So it was just one of those things, and then we got to a stage where we got older, wiser, and we had a little bit of money. Hey, let's turn this into something. So that's kind of how it came about. And we wrote our first vision statement. We started in '97. We wrote our first mission and vision statement about what we want to do with the company just last year.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Just let people know where they can get a hold of you, social media, where they can find RDS, where they can find your radio show and whatnot.
On iTunes, it's This Boyce Life. When it actually airs on Sirius, it's going to be called The Boyce Show. That's what Jason refers to me at on air. So it's going to suit, because his listeners are already used to hearing the name. So that'd be the name of the show, The Boyce Show. My podcast is This Boyce Life, and you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at This Boyce Life.